All right, everybody, we are live. Thank you. Thank you for checking us out. Feel free to go ahead and share this with your friends. If you're on and you're catching this on my Facebook or Atissa's Facebook, go ahead. Feel free to share this because we are going to be sharing some really important information with you all today. So just so you know who I am, hi, I am Sydney, and I am a business strategist. I also own a travel and event coordination business. And today I'm coming at you from the event strategist side of things. Something that I'm really big on, and I'm going to ask Otessa this as well, is transformation. If I had to describe my business in one word, it'd be the word transformation. I want to, whatever I'm doing in life, to impact people, to really make a difference in what they're doing and how they can contribute to the community. I want it to almost, spark a fire in someone's life, whether that's my entrepreneurs that I'm working with, whether that's my friendships, my personal life, my family, or even my clients. I want to make that sort of impact on their lives. And so as a business strategist, I work with the Kite and Dart group, and what we do there is we work with impact-driven entrepreneurs. And so Otissa happens to fall in that category. And we met, how long ago was it? We met maybe a year ago?
Yeah, it'll be a year in June.
Okay, so we met at a it's called Women on the Rise. I don't know if they're going to do it again or not, but it was an amazing event that was open to the public. It was free for entrepreneurs to get some awesome resources. And I was just starting out in one of my businesses, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go check this out. And you happen to be there working with a vendor who was selling items. And so can you tell me a little bit more about yourself? I love to hear it directly from you. Tell me what one word you would use to describe your business. Like I said, mine's is transformation. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
And then what do you do?
Yes. So I like that you stole transformation because I would definitely relate with how everything is shifting with my business at this time. But if I had to pick one word, I would have to say I'm going to throw change out there. And if I could do a second, it'd be culture, because I'm moving towards the HR and systems consulting, just because a lot of the times when business owners are expanding and they're needing to hire on a team, a remote team, or virtual help, you still have to put a little bit of yourself, and you have to change how you do things. So it's one thing to be doing everything yourself, but when you start bringing people on or training people, you're going to have to adapt to how people learn. You're going to have to adapt a little bit of the things that you thought you knew, but when you're translating that to someone else or expecting a result, you're going to have to do a little bit of changing, and no one likes change but me, I think. I love change. I love new things. And then culture, I think, is so important to me personally, but I also think it's important in business. I think that I love learning different cultures. I love expressing myself and bringing that to the table. And I think that's how you get better collaboration with people that you're working with, or different partnerships that you are exploring. So if I had to do two, it'd be changing culture.
I love that. I really do. And so something that I wanted to talk to you about today, and the reason that I'm recording this is because with Kite and Dart, we're offering a aligned business strategy course. And, of course, with COVID-19 happening, although we have more time at home to start thinking about our businesses and trying to figure out what we're going to do in business, we also, a lot of folks are mindful as to what they're going to invest in. Like we realize personal development, professional development is so important as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, but especially now more so than ever, we need to be careful with what we spend our money on. And so with Kite and Dart, we had a conversation and made the decision to actually host the Aligned Business Strategy course at pay at what you can, pay whatever you can. And there's only 10 spaces in that course because we want to make sure everybody who's on actually gets the time to express themselves, to talk about themselves, to get the help they need while they're doing this course. And so I wanted to kind of talk about first, I think what I want to do first is talk about, you did the course last month. What did you get out of the course? That's what I want to talk about first. And then I'm going to ask another question.
Yes, I love that question. What did I get out of the course? I got two things I could talk so much about. I got a good reality check about my business, how I wanted to change things, and what that looks like realistically, and the things that I need to do and put in place myself as I pursue this whole change with my business currently. And then another thing I would say is we talk, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but we dive into source commitments, and that resonated with me so much at that time because personally I was doing work around values, what I value, what does that mean? And a lot of the times in conversations you talk about that, but some people really don't get to the core of what that means to them personally and how that translates into their business. And so those are the two biggest takeaways, because ever since I took that course, which I can't believe is now a month ago, everything started aligning and shifting in my business. People that were reaching out to me were aligned with me, my business. And in a conversation with someone that's in alignment with you is productive. Number one, really productive. But I felt like I could show up and be myself and not have this anxiety around either a discovery call or just a partnership call. Or networking, even virtually now, I felt like it was more aligned with myself and my business.
Yeah, and that's super important because when you talk about that, values, right? Something that I've noticed before, especially as a business owner, is that we will not take into consideration our personal values. We'll put on a pretty face as to what we think for whatever our product or service is, what the customer wants to see. And then you end up with a mixed bag of clientele, right? Like you might get someone who you just can't stand, but you're like, but they're paying me. So just smile and be happy. And you kind of lose that, really you lose the sense of value in what you're doing, and it really diminishes the impact that you can make because you're not really servicing and helping the people that you really need to be servicing and helping. And so definitely that course, I know when I took it, it really showed me who I am as an individual and how that really needs to bleed through into my business and everything I do. So yeah, no, what you said was amazing. And I got very similar results out of that as well, from that as well. So I want to talk about something else too. Like I said, we've known each other for almost a year, maybe 9 months. And I had taken the course before you had taken the course. And I was like, Tessa, like, you got to check this out. Like, you got to check this out. And I kept saying, you got to check this out. Like, I'm serious. And I don't just go around recommending things to people unless I truly see value in them or see how it could really work for someone else. That's just who I am. I'm not just like, oh, you need to do this and do this and do this just cause. So let's talk about that. You would, when you had mentioned something when we had talked the other day as to why you hadn't taken the step yet to like actually try out the course, right? It's pay what you can and you get 100% back if it doesn't resonate with you. So tell me more. What happened?
I love that you called me out, and I love because it's the truth. Like I think we talked a little bit, I think last week, and what really kept me at the time was, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really ready. I wasn't ready for this course because I was still putting other things that I thought were obligations before myself and before my business. I was still in this I think we talk about the employee versus employer mindset. And I
Mhm.
was still stuck in the, well, I got to put all these other things before myself. I have to put all these other people before my business. And that doesn't make sense. And it kind of like the scale, teeters. And when I went and did the course in March, and I thought about it like, oh my gosh, I need to start making sure I put the development in my business first. I need to start putting those things before, because how else will my business grow, and how else will I be able to really dive into the work that is done on the back end, right? So I wasn't in a place where I was ready to shift that mindset, and I wasn't, and I made all the excuses. I think I'm so good at making up excuses for not doing something because it's easier
Uh-huh.
than actually saying, you know what, I'm going to just do this and this and that. I'm going to get my schedule in order and I'm going to make this a priority. So I love that you brought that up, because I'm learning now that I have to sometimes just say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do this thing because I have to put something that's more priority first. So yeah, thanks for calling me out. And I love that you brought that up, because I think as business owners or entrepreneurs, it is something that you kind of have to learn early in the game to, prioritize yourself first instead of putting all of the things. And I get it. We have families, we have, a lot going on. We have other jobs, but at the end of the day, if you want to grow and you want to become an impactful entrepreneur, then you're going to have to put that development in the forefront.
Yeah, and I'm happy you said, I don't have the time, I don't have the space, because that's the excuse that I gave myself for so long, as to why I wouldn't be able to, do my business and actually be a productive person in my business, is that I can't do it. I'm so focused on what's going on with my family or what's going on out here. Um, and I was scared, to be honest. A lot of it has to do with fear, right? And I was playing small. I talk a lot about, when I'm coaching other folks, about playing small versus playing big, or you might have heard it as sitting in the stands while there's other people actually on the court, like playing the game. You have to really put yourself out there and get yourself in that mindset to actually want to be successful. If you don't do that, then you're just going to stay where you are. And if you want to stay where you are, that's great. But this is not the course for you then. What the course is for people who are ready to take action, to actually, be a mover and shaker in whatever industry you choose it to be, to make a difference. And so I'm so happy that you were honest and upfront and willing to share. And that's the other thing about ABS, is it opens up this window to cultivate a community. You started talking to me the other day about how you're still connected with some of the folks, right, that you took the course with, which I
Yeah.
think is so cool. Tell me about.
Yeah. So these amazing ladies that I have been, so it was the three of us. And let me say that when I signed up for the course, I didn't expect it to be intimate. I made up my own concoction of what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like 15 of us. I thought it was going to be very like, here's a packet and we're going to go. Like, I created this like fantasy of what I thought it was going to be. And then I get there and I got there really early. So I just hung out for a little bit. And then these two ladies came, and then Nate came and got us, and we went up to the floor, and it was just the three of us, ladies. And I love how Nate started off with like, what do you want to get out of this? And I was thinking like, holy crap, you're asking me what I want to get out of this course. This is not what I'm used to. And it was beautiful to listen to what they have going on, and to listen to what they're dealing with their businesses, because we were all at different stages. I mean, we had one young lady who was in this process of jobs. She was trying to find the right job, and her story was amazing. And we're trying to push her to become an entrepreneur because she's got the chops. So we listened to what she was wanting to get out of it, and then the other woman, she's been experienced business owner. I think she either had another business as well, and she was pursuing the main one, and she was wanting to take it to another level. And so hearing what she had to say was so valuable. And then you have me, who's a newbie for a year and who's still trying to absorb all these things and learning the action part of business and doing it without looking at perfection. I've struggled with perfection with my business, and it doesn't do anything but make you
Yeah.
stagnant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I call it, fight, flight, or freeze, right? Like, especially for a perfectionist, you can have so much and get so overwhelmed, you freeze and you're just like, your wheels are spinning. So that's
yeah.
been my personal experience.
Yeah, and two things on perfectionism, and I'll stop because I can talk about it for hours. I am a recovering perfectionist, people. So one thing I learned recently is that perfectionism is the highest form of self-abuse. So it's not healthy.
Mm,
It's not a healthy mindset to have, in my opinion, in a business. And then also release things at 50% or 60%. Release it. Let it go. Don't get so caught up in having everything perfectly packaged with a bow, because how else will you learn if you don't
yeah.
just release things and see what happens? So
Yeah.
that's my PSA on perfectionism.
No, I'm happy you said that because you do get folks too who are scared to try, because they're like, oh, this might not be perfect, and nothing in life is perfect. And if you don't actually take that first step and try, then you won't get anywhere. So thank you for dropping, and I call them knowledge bombs. Thank you for dropping those on perfectionism, because it definitely, it doesn't actually lead to success. At all. So thank you. Um, I'm going to wrap up, but before I wrap up, I just would like for you to say, because it sounds like you would recommend this course. And before I even get to this, actually, something you had mentioned, I just thought of this. You had mentioned that there were folks in different levels of business actually in the course. And I think that's so important to highlight and to talk about, because we all are playing at our own time in our own space, right? Like, you can't compare your success to your neighbor's success. This isn't keeping up with the Joneses. You had said you're, starting your business at one level, but there was actually another woman who was at another level, right, in this course. And that's really what business should be. Just because you consider yourself successful doesn't mean that you should give up on actually doing some sort of development on yourself and on your business. And so I think, and I appreciate you saying that, because I think it adds so much value to this course that you're actually in a space with folks who are not just in different industries, but also at different stages. It's so important. But moving on, before we end, because I appreciate your time, who would you say this is for, in your opinion? Who do you say would benefit the most from the course that you took?
That's a really hard question. But I would say it's for anyone who is ready to take their business to another level, whether it's an idea. They have an idea for a business, but they don't know what to do. I would also recommend it for someone who's been in business for years and they're stagnant in their business, or maybe they don't have any passion anymore. Maybe they don't have any joy in their business. Do it. Sign up for the course. I don't think you need to be like a newbie to the business world. And I think that, like I said earlier, in each stage, I think that people can benefit from this. So yeah, whether you have an idea of a business and you don't know where to begin, you just have a great idea and maybe a foundation, but you just don't know where to go. Those that have been in business for years, maybe 10 or more or less, do it, because you're going to get something out of it. You're going to learn more about what resonates with you, not only with your source commitments that you guys dive into, but the different parts of business that we don't think about. And I love the title, Aligned Business Strategy. I literally was like, yeah, I want to have alignment and I want a strategy. And you end up forming the foundations for your business when you take this course, or for that idea that you have blooming for a business. Or even like my friend that was part of the course, who was looking to change career paths. She didn't know what she wanted to do. She just knew she wasn't happy with
Mhm.
what she left at her old position. So do it. Like, what are you waiting for? If you want to grow, personally and or in your career, this is a good option for you to take advantage of this. Yeah.
So something I want to point out, and so for those of you who are just now viewing this video, we're talking about the Aligned Business Strategy course offered by Kite and Dart. I am an aligned business strategist. I work with the Kite and Dart group, and we are hosting this course in April. Don't miss it. It is pay what you can, especially with COVID. We understand that times might be hard for some folks, and some folks are actually doing pretty well right now, depending on what your business model is. Check it out. It is 100% money back if you're not resonating with the topic. Okay. But I appreciate Otissa, because what I'm going to say right now is that Otissa is not getting paid to be on here, to spend her 25 minutes of time being on here. She's not getting paid. This wasn't like an infomercial. This is her true experience. We didn't rehearse these questions. I'm throwing them at her. So so thank you for letting me do that. And really quick, before we hop off, I want you to just say your business again for folks who are catching the end. What do you do? Who's your ideal client maybe, and how they can contact you?
Yeah, no, thank you. And again, thank you so much for having me on here. I was actually just talking about this course to someone who's taking it and signed up. So woohoo, I was just speaking about this an hour ago. So awesome. And as far as me and my business, I am doing HR consulting and systems strategy. So if you're in that part of your business where you are expanding or you're thinking of hiring a remote team or a virtual team or a staff, when this is all over, you want to have a staff for your business, then I'm your gal, because I've been doing this for a while. And I'd love to help those businesses who are trying to grow, have a good team, talk about training, and also put systems in place to have a staff, right? You got to have systems ready before you just hire on a team to help you. My ideal client, I am still working through this, but I love helping women, but I also help men. So if you are heart-centered, if you are someone who likes to have fun and get the job done, and also you are willing to learn systems. I can't talk about that enough. I love systems. And if you don't like that and you're not really into organization, then, well, we may not be a good fit. But if you like the idea of putting systems in place, you like the idea of having some fun and getting business done, then I think that we would be a great match. So you can definitely find me on Facebook. My Facebook business page is a little outdated, but you can definitely go to Otissa Eads VA on Facebook, or you can DM me or message me directly on either of my personal or my business page account, and I'd love to set up a time to chat more with you.
And let's say really quick, someone doesn't have Facebook, because I do run into this occasionally. That might be a system you could teach people. They might not have Facebook yet for business or whatnot. Do you have an email address or something like that? Or phone number?
Yes, I have. I'll definitely give my email. So it's otissa.eads@gmail.com. I will be getting a different business account, but you can definitely reach me at just my first name, my last name @gmail.com. And I'd love to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then for me, there's should be a link to the course that's available. Sign up. Like I said, there's only 9 spots left. Otissa just said she referred a friend, so there's probably only 8 available now. So sign up today. Don't wait, because there is limited space. We create that space to be very intimate so that we can talk to each individual during the course. Please make sure, if you want to get a hold of me, you can email me at PLAN with Sydney, SYDNEY @gmail.com. Feel free to shoot me an email that way. You can also connect with me via my Facebook. I actually have a community too called Entrepreneurs of Color. Otissa actually is a part of that community as well. And so that is where we highlight entrepreneurs of color. We have some amazing events coming up. So feel free to also hop onto that as well and join that community. It's open to everyone. But like I said, we highlight entrepreneurs entrepreneurs of color making a difference in the community. So thank you, Otissa, for your time. I really appreciate you and for sharing your knowledge and and investing in yourself. I really appreciate you investing in yourself. I appreciate you investing in me as a friend, and also, working together in business. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Kind words. You're so amazing. You know how much I adore you. So thank you so much for having me on. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Mwah. I hope you have a great day. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye.